Okay, an Algebra 1 problem, Chapter 3, Section 9, Uniform Motion Problems. Again, we're trying to find here an average speed. Let's read through the problem. May took a nonstop flight to visit her grandmother. The 750-mile trip took 3 hours and 45 minutes. Because of bad weather, the return trip took 4 hours and 45 minutes. What was her average speed for the round trip? Notice this time I used 3 of them. I used a trip out, a trip back, and a round trip. I actually don't set these up normally the way I did in the first problem. That was the book's way to set it up. Let me show you how I actually solve these problems. It might be a little bit easier for you to see the process. So let me go through this step by step. May took her nonstop flight for her grandmother. She took 750-mile trip, so that's going to be your distance, right? The distance out is 750. The distance back is 750. Let me clean that up just a bit. There we go, 750. The trip took 3 hours and 45 minutes on the way out, right? The 750 trip took because of bad weather, the return trip, yep. So that's 3 hours and 45 minutes. 3 hours and 45 minutes, but because we don't like making time with a colon in there, we like it as a decimal. We know that 45 minutes, if I draw a clock, right? 45 minutes would be when the arrow's pointing there. That is 75% of the way. So this is the same thing as 3.75, right? And then the return trip took 4 hours. So we've got a 3 hour and 45 minutes, and we've got a 4 hour and 45 minutes. And again, 45 minutes is 75% of the way around, so this would be a 4.75. And we want to know what was the average speed for the round trip. So we could go find the rates for each one of these, which would be, well, distance equals rate times time. To get rate, rate would be equal to time, distance divided by time, right? You'd have to divide by time on both sides to get rate by itself. So that would be the 750 divided by the 375, and this would be the 750 divided by the 475 to get our rates here. But what I really want to know is I want to know this, right? The round trip. So for the round trip, the total distance she went was 1,500, because 7 plus 7 is 14, and then you'd get another 10 out of that. So this would be 1,500. And then the total time taken, well, 375 plus 475, that's going to be 7, carry the 1, and 75 is 150, so that's going to be 850. So the total distance is 1,500, the total time is 850, and I know distance is equal to rate times time, so I know that the 1,500 is equal to this r, which we don't know, which we could use x, times the time, which is 850. And then I can divide both sides by 850. I'm just going to go back and make this into my r, because I don't know what that is, right? And I'm using r in my formula, so that's actually r. So the 850s would cancel out, and I end up with r is equal to 1,500 divided by 850. So let me grab my calculator, and we take 1,500, and we divide that by 850, and we get 176.47. And we want to know what are we talking about here? This is in miles and hours. If we're talking miles and hours, then we are talking miles per hour. Okay, and so we're on a plane, so 176 miles per hour does not seem too unreasonable.